Street Sounds, K103.7 FM, like Saturday, and that is the duo known as Willard and Katt. Been getting a lot of questions about these dudes after I premiered one of their tracks last week entitled Groove, which we will play before the 11 o'clock hour. But first and foremost, we have Willard and Katt in studios, and we're going to clear up all of your questions that you may have. First and foremost, welcome to K103.7 FM.
What's up? It's good to be here.
Good to have you here, finally.
Yes,
finally. I met your partner the last time he rolled through the city, but it's good to have you in studios. Introduce yourself for the people that are out there listening.
Well, my name is Johan Michael, straight, living out in the Bay Area, originally from Montreal, and it feels good to be back home, man.
Definitely. Except for the cold weather. I'm sure you're missing the warm weather in the Bay.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm cool with that. You know, every time I come home and the weather is just like this, I'm like, you know, it just brings me back to the good old days.
Ain't no place like home. That's what they say. And sitting across from you, we have your partner, who I would like to introduce yourself.
Yes, I am Viak Natin, originally from Montreal as well. Actually, I'm back home. I'm back home in my mama's house in Brossard because my working visas are not coming through for me. So I'm kind of stuck for a minute, but it's actually very good to be home, and it's good to see my brother across me back home with me.
And it's good to see my boy.
Willard and Katt. Yeah, Montreal people.
So Willard and Katt in the city. How did this come about that you guys came back now to do this these two showcases?
Wow, man. Well, we've been doing the music for a long time musically, but we only actually started doing tracks together maybe about 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago, and we started building a really big buzz in the Bay Area. But we wanted to expose Willard and Katt to Canada, to Toronto, to Montreal, to Vancouver, and everything. Right. So this was the right moment. Johan had some free time back home, so it was the right time. We have Russ, super promoter, that was able to collaborate with us and get things ready. And
most definitely.
I'm curious, what led to you guys leaving Montreal and going out to the Bay Area?
Well, what happened was, basically, I was involved in the industry for at least a good 13 to 14 years, and it led me out to, first, Toronto, and then from Toronto, I moved out. I was like a, traveling brat, so from Toronto, Europe, and the U.S.
Nice.
We lived out in New York. And then from New York City, we based ourselves back to Toronto, and Toronto back to the Bay Area and San Francisco. So the Bay Area has definitely given us a lot of love as far as a whole music genre of things. And, V and I have always collaborated with so many great independent artists out there, as well as well-known producers. So we're very fortunate with that. So hail to the Bay Area, man.
Definitely big with the Bay Area. And they're listening now online.
Most definitely. So everybody who's in the Bay, what's up? I'm here in Montreal in the cold weather, but I'm giving this cold love to you.
Definitely. Street Sounds, K103.7 FM is Willard and Katt in studio. They are passing through the city to do two showcases. They did one last week, and they have another one coming up this Saturday night. How would you best describe your style of your music for anyone that's never heard it before, that are hearing about Willard and Katt for the very first time?
Ooh, well, it's trend-setting, innovative music. Definitely inspired by the music that we grew up on. So
absolutely.
The hip-hop, the reggae, the R&B.
Rock.
Montreal's a very reggae city, so we're very influenced by the reggae. Myself being Egyptian, I love the Arabic music and I love the Latin music. And being Pacific Islander and everything, I know you.
Most definitely. It comes to a lot of cultural music that we pretty much infuse into our sound. And obviously, with the rock, with the reggae, with the hip-hop and R&B, classic soul, this is pretty much something that we define as contemporary music, and we're very glad that we can actually share that with our Montrealers out there.
So you draw upon all your influences from growing up, and you bring it together, fuse it, and make your own unique sound out of it.
Most definitely.
Yeah. And it's all for the kids. We're doing it for them. So
exactly.
We try and stay conscious with our lyrics and try and stay positive with our music so that, it's got something of value, because you got to keep in mind we do have a responsibility as entertainers, and the kids are listening. So
exactly.
It's very interesting that you say that, because a lot of artists feel that they don't have any moral obligation to their listeners, and they feel they put out their music. They feel that it's their parents' job to play that role, and they put out what they want, and the kids choose if they want to listen to it or not.
Yeah, and at the same time, I think we have to recognize as artists that, you've got a lot of people out there doing pretty much the same vibe, sticking to the same formula, and I think a lot of music heads and music listeners out there are waiting to hear something new and innovative and eccentric, and I think that's something that Willard and Katt can definitely provide to the public, to the world.
Definitely, and from what I've heard, the couple of tracks, I heard the Like Saturday, and I heard the Groove song, which we're going to play before the 11 o'clock hour. It's something unique, it's fresh, and it is refreshing, because a lot of the stuff that you hear on the radios and on the videos, it's always the same thing. Everyone's going through the same formula and all that, so it's good to see somebody step outside of the box and just be true to themselves with their music. Album in the works.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Go ahead.
We've got an album that's pretty much solidified. It's going to be out in the spring of 2008, so we're very excited about that. Vance and I have worked pretty much all day, all night, ever since he was out in the Bay, and him relocating back to Montreal and finishing this album. Myself just finishing up the recordings, finishing up little tweaks here and there, but nevertheless, this album's going to come out incredible and crazy, right, B?
That's right.
And Don Swoon, the K103, will have one of the first copies, right?
That's for sure.
Most definitely.
I gotta ask you guys, as artists that have, branched out, you travel, like you said, you did your thing in Toronto, you took it to New York, you took it to the Bay Area. A lot of artists that I know that have done their thing originally here in Montreal and then branched out have said that they received a whole lot more love outside of Montreal than, they did in their hometown. Was that the experience for you guys?
Well, you know what? From my experience, being that I reside out in the Bay Area, I get so much people coming up to me and going, wow, man, you know what? I've been to Montreal, and regardless how small of a city it is, it packs a big effect.
Yeah.
And you know what? It branches out everywhere around the world. I've known people who've visited Montreal and they don't want to leave. They have a great time, not just for the nightlife, but the vibe, the energy, the innovation that a lot of artists give out here. And I'm very proud of that. I'm really proud of that. I'm proud that me as a Montrealer is representing my Montreal music to the people out in the U.S. and all over the world. And I could vouch the same for Vietnam.
Montreal is a very critical city, and that's what I like about Montreal, is that we have high expectations and we have a strong taste in good music.
Exactly.
So we will be critical of the music that comes out of here, but from the response that we had at Jello Bar, and for all of you who missed it, you missed out a beautiful show.
Oh, it was crazy.
And
that's what I heard. I heard the lineup was around the corner.
Bananas.
Crowd reaction and all the love we got from Montreal. So give thanks, Montreal, and we'll be back in December.
And most definitely we want to give thanks to Cassava Entertainment, Russell Entertainment, Willard and Katt, everybody who's put their efforts 150% into this showcase, and we're going to have another big one coming up this weekend. So
that's going to be nice. So for anyone looking for more information on Willard and Katt, you have a MySpace, Facebook, website that they could check out?
For the MySpace, you can check out myspace.com/Willard and Katt. That's WILLARDANDKATT. For the upcoming show, it's this Saturday at Buddha Bar. Buddha Bar is at 1401 Mackay at the corner of St. Catherine. Good live music. We got free giveaways all night long. We got DJ Majest spitting, and come out for some good vibes.
Absolutely.
Well, definitely. There you go. You can go and check them out live. And right about now, we're going to get into another one of your tracks. This one is my favorite out of the two that I heard. I heard Like Saturday, and this one grew. So set this up a little bit before we get into it.
Well, first of all, number one, V and I have always been a music head to the T, and we've listened to a lot of old school music from Will Downing to Bobby Womack.
Ooh, Will Downing.
To Donny Hathaway to Stevie Wonder. And so we wanted to spit a little something. We wanted to go to church with this song. And one of the things that's pretty much innovative was the falsetto. And if nobody knows what the falsetto is, it's kind of like, have you ever heard of D'Angelo CD?
Of course.
So you're going to get one of the background vocals to sort of spit a little bit of fire, spit a little bit more classic soul. And I think that's what inspired us to give the groove, is because we wanted to give something that had the old school incentive into it with the modern day production, with the modern day execution as far as vocal intentions, and as well as the production.
Grown and sexy.
Grown and sexy.
I like
most
that.
Definitely.
So here it is, Montreal. It is the groove, courtesy of Willard and Katt. I want to thank you guys for taking the time and stopping by. I know it's kind of last minute, and you guys rushed out here. I appreciate that.
It's good to be here.
Go and support them this weekend as they perform. And once again, you can check out the myspace.com/Willard and Katt, and that's WILLARD&ANDKATT. They will be performing, and definitely when you guys come back through town, you have to stop by and give me updates on what is going on. This is Willard and Katt, The Groove, on K103.7 FM.
Here we go. Whoa, yeah.